Dummy Switch Pod, world's most
Yes,
dangerous
sir.
rugby podcast. How are you, Chris?
Oh, um, how can I say? I'm just surviving with the skin of my teeth, like the sharks.
But you say that, but I'm here to tell everybody. My message today is that the URC is too easy. It is too easy. It's a breeze.
Ooh, okay,
I saw someone
okay. That's
saying we're at.
controversial.
It's not even controversial. It's at the level where we are now what the New Zealand teams were to Super Rugby, and I agree with that because you say
Mm,
that about the Sharks, but they still it never was really that much in doubt. If we go, let's start on the Sharks game.
okay.
Until Grant Williams and Noche had the moments that they broke the game, that was all that they were looking for. They weren't looking for anything else.
Mm, okay. Look, I hear that. They got the moments, they took them, but they were wasteful. They were wasteful. They made visits to the 22. They didn't look after the ball. For me, it was just like, they, and okay, I think it also now I'm gonna now in a way back up what you're saying. Because it's almost like they expected. Okay, now we're here in the 22. We're expecting to score. So
But that's why I
okay,
say all that they were missing was those game breaking moments.
mm,
That's all that was
mm,
missing. Besides, Umtunu he was fighting for his life in the scrums. He was the only guy that I can say, okay, yeah, the scrums were a bit up and down. But besides that,
mm.
guys had good games and it didn't look too much in danger. I mean, Dylan Richardson, I think he really stood out. Grant
Yes,
Williams looked like a 50 test Bok to me, like playing in this game. He looked so comfortable at this level. It
yeah.
it it was looking for the moments, and then two of those moments came.
Yeah, look, yes, you mentioned Grant Williams for sure. I also Dylan Richardson. Also for me, like Pepsi, his work rate and or the work in the trenches as
Yeah.
well. For me, he sticks out. Because he's one
He
of the.
came into the game. It's what they say, the diesel engine. It took him
Yeah,
a while to warm up, but once he was there, he got stuck in. In the beginning, I'd say the first 20, 30, he was missing in action, but after that, then that's when he imposed himself.
but I think even the first 20, 30, just the whole Sharks pack. Okay, barring Dylan Richardson, was always going to be a thorn, but I think they were sleeping. They were sleeping, and like you say, I think they look, credit to them for getting away with the win. That's away from home. We'll take it. Okay, it's just I just want to see them just be a bit better on securing their own ball. Because looking at that, there's so many opportunities where there was quick ball, we're making the breaks, we're getting in behind them, we're making the meters, we're putting them under pressure, and then just a silly moment releases the pressure, or a mistake releases the pressure. So that's just my only gripe with the Sharks, because we are going to get tougher games, and I just want the guys just to do better, man. We've got the roster, we've got all the tools, so but we'll take the win. We'll take
And
it.
to be fair, Dragons, they came off a good game, so I mean they were coming in a good position. The Sharks, it's still getting going. Guys from the box will slowly start coming back in. But
Mm.
I don't know. Are there questions around the coaching? That maybe that's the only thing I could say. But besides that, it didn't. If put it this way, if I was a Shark supporter, even though you're down, I'm never looking at it in a way like it's a bad performance.
Mm. Mm. For me, it was a bad performance. I'm sorry, it was a bad performance. No, because they left too much. They made it harder for themselves. But basically, I
Okay.
think that's what I'm getting at. Is that they made it harder for themselves. It shouldn't have been so difficult. There's Dragons are coming off a good game. They're at home. They're always going to have that. The home ground advantage and all of that. But it's just, with the quality of the Sharks, they should be doing better. That's what I believe. And we go back and we mentioned it early in the season and I think even close to the back end of last season, I can't remember correctly, but we were speaking about the roster that they have. The question marks are going to come down to the coaching, because, you need somebody that's going to be able to lead these guys,
Hmm.
properly and get the utmost best of these guys all the time, because right now they surviving off just natural talent of the players. For
So I
me.
mean, yeah, I guess you can say they to put guys in a position where they can break the game. You know, you look
Mm,
at Achieva Daimani, the way that they've put him out there wider to take guys on one. If they can,
yeah,
Noche did it in this game. If they can put
yeah.
certain players in better positions to break the game.
Yes, use their skill set that they
Yeah.
have. I think that's really my only thing with the Sharks. But again, like I said, we'll take the win. It's away from home. Take it, but they can be better.
I think it was the
Definitely.
only win with no bonus point. That
But
again,
Takir,
that goes
wait,
back to my thing. That goes back to my thing
wait,
of that. It's too easy. We're getting bonus
wait,
points away from home.
wait. I hear you. But Takir
Yeah.
Abrams, man, he was. Look, he's definitely one to look out for. I've rated him since his days at Paul Boys. For his stature, the effort and what he puts in. And I was happy that he got that final try. It's again, they do have the qualities, and it's just unfortunate we couldn't get the bonus point, but I see the other guys, hey man, they enjoying life.
Yeah, I mean Bulls versus Connacht, I don't really have much to say. The only thing that stood out there was Similani not being in the URC team and that
Mm,
potentially being something that they're trying to work on him being a utility back. And that's the way that he can get into the box squad. I think they're saying as a 13, it's going to be more difficult for you to get in there. So let's try and make you into a utility back. The role that Franz Stein leaves will be the role that you can come, because Damian Willems is getting promoted.
yeah.
Franz Stein, if he gets left out or he gets injured, then you can fill that role and you can cover for most of the backline positions.
Yeah, I think with him, yeah, like you say, it's just that stands out that he wasn't involved, because I think maybe he's finding his feet at the Bulls. I'm still just giving them the benefit of the doubt. Otherwise, my question would be, then why did he move from the Lions if he's just gonna be, almost in the same spot at the Bulls, because you've also got Stedman Khans in there at 13 as well, so I think the Bulls are potentially gonna be, they can actually get themselves into a jam by virtue of having so many players and not being able to, not selecting the right guys or backing them enough to get that confidence because they looked a bit, as much as yes, they got the bonus point. They left points out on the table. They allowed Connacht to come at them at home. And it was just yeah. But Connacht are a decent side. In the way that they play. But yeah, man, it's just bonus point good, but there's still some things there that you can see that potentially it can trip them up. The Bulls going forward, and they can become victims of their own creation.
Yeah, Cardiff versus the Lions. Lions, interesting game, interesting game. I think from the beginning it was quite tight, almost like the Stormers game. First half quite tight, just holding on to an extent, but it's not really holding on. It's just sort of neutralizing the
Yeah,
attacking team. You can see there's a clear mandate there with the Lions, double hits. I think since
yeah.
the Bulls game, you've seen the defense. That's what they're doing.
It's improved. It's improved their defense and consistency in selection in the right guys
Yeah,
because for me they've got right now this balance. They've got a good balance, especially even in the backs, but more so the pack as well. They've got a very good balance and they're looking to, like I said last week, they're looking to get back to those regions when they were, top in Super Rugby. So it's good to see. I'm happy for them. I'm happy for Nohamba. For me,
yeah.
I'm really happy for him that you can see what he brings. That the tempo that he brings to the Lions, just the attitude, just he's got that thing, man. He's got that
Yeah,
thing, and it's showing.
this was the Nohamba game. I can tell you the commentators were loving. They were loving the little man. They were loving the little man. Like
Yeah,
you could even see when they're like Nohamba, good or bad, he's involved in everything in this game.
yeah.
And there was moments where he was milking penalties, jumping in the air so that he can get the penalty of being, at the rucks getting penalties. There was even a moment where the Lions had quieted the crowd and
Mm,
you heard him screaming yes because they got a scrum penalty, just winding
Yeah.
everybody up. Like he was playing, that scrum half irritation level that used to exist in our days. That's exactly what he was doing, and
Yeah.
I was loving it. Commentators were loving it. The only thing, bad kicks at times, but he'll get there with more game time. More, this is, I think, the second game he started. So I mean,
he's starting.
Can build.
Yeah, and I think look, the bad kicks thing, I think it's also a little issue with our nines, because I mean, even with Grant Williams, the Sharks game, the times, especially from the exits, those box kicks, we tend to put ourselves or teams ourselves under pressure, by not getting them accurate. But they'll only get better, these guys, and especially Hamba. I think it's good to see him enjoying himself again and getting that game time, and really just being himself, because that's what got him, to the top, So yeah, I'm glad for him, and I won't lie, I'm glad that the Lions, they seemingly looking like, they're slowly getting their act together,
They are. I mean, they are.
They
are. Experience from Kutsia, like he's bringing like a steady head. There's calmness now. Henko van Wyk is also starting to come along better. Sangweni had a good game, even though I don't think he's a 6. So, other people that might be there because of their birthrights were on the bench. So we're building right now. Even Marius Lowe, he left his hands in the change room in the first half, but he found them second half. He was making those meters, so he might no longer be on fraud watch. They even said he was man
give
of
him
the match.
time. Give him time, man. Give him time, bro. Like, he was solid for the Sharks, and but at the Lions, I think, he's a good fit for you guys. He can offer you guys something different there in that 12 channel, and I think we'll see more. I think they complement each other well, him and Henko van Wyk, because they both, they can be physical, but then van Wyk he's incisive, he can make the breaks, he can create something on attack, so yeah, just with Gianni Lombard, at the wheel, I think give your boys time, you're gonna see something there. I like the direction that they're going, especially from where they were the Bulls game, that's importantly. Then you look at week 2, you look at this game as well, we can actually see the steady progression.
Yeah, it's just Hendricks, so he's gonna start getting those calls from the Rock.
He may be on fraud watch.
I'm not gonna fight you there. Not gonna fight you there. Stormers versus Edinburgh. Edinburgh, that dangerous team for us, especially because of the way that they played. But they came up against the Stormers, who that's how they love it. They love that loose play, that transition play. So in the end, especially deeper into the game, when they try to free it up and let the ball go, you're playing into the Stormers' hands, and they pick them off. Yeah,
look, Stormers right now is the best team. They're the best South African team. Of course they won URC, but I mean, they're just picking up from where they left off. In terms of being champions, and like you spoke about how they utilized Daimani. I think they've also refreshed the squad nicely. You see the impact of guys like Pokomela coming in as well. It's
Dweba's debut.
Yeah, Dweba as well coming in. What a stellar debut, and you can actually see the qualities that that put him into Bok level at Bok contention. And it's you have to like, just from the outside looking into the Stormers environment, you have to like how they play and how they back in their skill set. They back in their skill set, and they can go toe to toe with any team. That's what I like the most about the Stormers. If it needs to get physical, they can do that.
Then that's when Dion Fourie steps up.
And you saw, I know we're not talking tests, but when there's a moment to Edinburgh, they took a quick tap and they were trying to get the roll on, and Fourie snapped and he got that penalty. You know what I mean? That's his value that you see, and that's the kind of the impact that I want to see him get a chance to make at Bok level, and hopefully he stays fit, doesn't get injured, and he gets selected for end of year tour, so we can, see more of him, because just the value that he brings to that Stormers setup is massive. It's really massive. But all around, Libbok, Libbok, that it's the confidence, it's the love that he's getting, and he's repaying that, with the play. He's kicking accurately off the tee, which, a lot of our 10s have been struggling with, even at test level. He's able to create, so, I mean, let's see what happens, because the question will be, what more does he need to do? What more does he need to do?
And what does he need to do that Pollard can't do? You saw that goose. He was playing touch rugby out there, man. He was playing touch rugby there. Picked him off Hartzenberg as well. Again,
yeah.
Once they transitioned into that loose play, that's when it was good night.
Deadly. And again, you have to commend the youngsters that the Stormers, they backing them, and it's almost like it's a completely different franchise, and look, it's good to see, from a South African context. And they just need to keep on building on this, because I mean, look at all our teams, they're easily in the top 8, if you're looking at just the second season in this tournament, and all our teams, they're doing well, and we'll see. We'll see if your theory is right about it being too easy. I don't know. I don't want to say it's too easy, but one thing is that South Africa has added to the quality of the URC. If you compare it to the Gallagher Premiership and you look at it, okay. And then, you look at Super Rugby, okay, fine. It's always going to be the flair because it's New Zealand, but, it's different. And then you look at what historically was the Pro 14 and then what it is now with the South African teams. For me, probably the best competition, club competition, because of our teams being involved.
Yeah, November is fast approaching, so those selections, it's going to heat up with that. I mean, I'm looking at Daimani, looking at Libbok, especially in that game. Joseph Dweba, line out accuracy, the stats look good, but Edinburgh didn't jump all game. So that one, they say women lie, men lie, numbers don't lie. There, the numbers were lying. They weren't jumping. They weren't jumping. Yeah. But we'll see. I think we should further episodes get into guys front running for those positions. But so far so good, especially for I think Libbok is leading that race so far.
Yeah, for 10, like honestly, they've been giving guys a shot. I think, it's big opportunities for a lot of the guys. You've got the SAA opportunity and, obviously BOK contention. But we already know BOK contention, they'll try and test it. We know how they do, so the SAA is where we hoping the guys can come through and ensure what they can do, especially looking at the coaching group that they're looking to put together. Maybe is this a glimpse of the future? I'm just glad, Bafana Ntlego is, he's in the mix there, and I hope that is a sign of things to come for the future, because I rate him as a coach, So, yeah, it's exciting times. And like you say, November is fast approaching. I think we're a month away, effectively it's a month away from the first game. Yeah,
it's a month away from the first game.
Yeah. So it's not long. So guys, we're going to see in the coming rounds, how guys are going to be upping their performance, because, sorry to say this, you can see, at 15, looking at this from the Sharks perspective, you cannot see why Fassi hasn't really cracked it consistently at the BOK level. You can see those things. There's elements that he needs to improve on. I know the Church of Fassi wouldn't be happy to hear this, but it's a fact. I mean, there's some predictability. There's some, crucial mistakes, under the high ball, can get better. You can see some guys why, even at 9, why, okay, they haven't really made that leap. You can see that, but there's still, I think, 3 weeks maybe to try and, force their way into at least the SAA setup and have a look in there. But yeah, it's some good. It's good to have these sort of headaches. I think if you're a South African coach.
Definitely. All I have to say is we better cap Nohamba now because they want him to remain in Wales. They're gonna detain that man after he picked Reece Webb's pocket after the performance he had. He's an honorary Welsh citizen at the
Welshman,
moment.
yeah.
Yeah, so he's gonna do what Blommakeys couldn't do. But
Oh
that's
yeah,
another story for another day.
A story for another day. But look, this next round is going to be tough. It's tougher, So I think it's going to be a test, really, especially the Lions. I think we'll get to see exactly where they're at against Edinburgh. I think even the Sharks, it's a very, very tough test against Leinster. And even the Bulls with Glasgow. And it'll be interested to see if Sintu Manjesi gets to play. So. Yeah, it's a bit of a tricky. I think Stormers are the only ones against Zebra where it should be regulation win, But the other games is going to be testing, and then we'll see, where they stand.
Yeah, I think that's it for us this week. Dummy Switch Pod. Thanks for watching.